Hey, so these are some book pages. This one's, note how that one says A Shortcut to Mushrooms. This is a Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings book. There's a map for you if you needed to know where to go. And, yes, I'm going to glue them to that canvas, as I've done before with book pages. Also, so that one says mushrooms. You see that? I got so excited when I found that. Because this is the theme. Mushrooms and flowers. And so I've been doing those book pages, and I was like, what if I just do... Also, there's a book I was reading. I quickly abandoned that because it scared me. Sometimes thrillers make me too anxious. Here's my sunburn. I'm showing that off. Cool. Nice. Whoops. It's not that bad. Here's some Mod Podge. Now, what I didn't know... Again, this plan was... It was a half-made plan. But I decided to just Mod Podge on the paper and figure it out later. So that's what I did. I always well, I'm getting some footage for my TikTok video version of this. I just pour that Mod Podge on there. I do. I really do. But then this time I did pause. I said, what if I Google how to do that? I did briefly, and then I said, never mind. Never mind. And I just keep doing what I was doing. Because my only issue was, the bubbles in it. Or the wrinkles. And I've done this before where it worked out perfectly, and I've done it before where there were wrinkles, and I'm like, well, I did the same thing, so what's your problem? It's not me. Obviously, you're the problem. It's not me. Anyways, so I put some Mod Podge on it. I stick it on there, and then I put Mod Podge on top of it, and that's the vibe. We go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Sorry I have to stare at my back and my birthmark. I forget it's there. Until I see myself in this video. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a birthmark there. Cool. Very cool. And look at this. This is a fun shot. Wow, there's the map. And there are certain ones that I wanted at the front, so I'm using ones that, these are the bottom layer. Now I'm not doing multiple layers. I just want, it's got to layer some because I want it to look layered. But I don't want it actually layered all over. But I'm using the ones I don't care about as much on the bottom. And I'm saving that mushroom chapter where it says it. That one's going to go on the top. And I always make sure to do look how flat those are laying. Good job, guys. I made sure to always put up the side that says the Fellowship of the Ring on the top. There's me unsure. I'm scared. I'm wondering. You never know with these things. And you don't. I sure don't. I also started this in May, I think, is when I had to scroll so far. I have so many videos and photos. So I had to scroll so far back I couldn't even find. I think it was the beginning, and I found one from May. Oh my gosh, spit it out. Sorry. Sometimes I hear myself not getting to the point. It is what it is, and we do what we do. So here we go. Here's the Shortcut to Mushrooms page. And so on one side, I love, some books don't have the title of the book at the top. And the ones that do, I say thank you, because otherwise you wouldn't really know. And I used, also here I am distracted by reading it. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You frolicking through the forest? I was going to say also that I'm using some of the pictures, they got maps in there. And so I use some of those just for fun. And here I am washing off the Mod Podge because sometimes it gets too much. I say, no more. I've got layers of Mod Podge on my fingers. I can't touch anything. I'm trying to move my camera to get the angles. I'm trying to look at my phone because I can't keep off of it for more than 2 seconds. And so I gotta wash my hands and we gotta move on. Actually, this may be the next day. It may not be. So I'm going right in there with the markers. I am. I didn't know because the Mod Podge is matte. It is, but it adds a texture that the markers it's different, These are the Ahuhu markers and they're great. Some of the colors were different, and so I really had to just try different ones to make it work because I have my set colors that I was using for on the normal paper on their own that I was inspired by to make a whole canvas of them. But the colors changed a bit and I had to kind of figure out new ones for some of them. And and I truly just did not want to use paint. I've been over acrylic paint, and markers are so easy, and they're just what they are. I don't have to put them on a palette and then paint multiple layers, and they're like instantly dry. I also just love how it feels on the paper. They just glide. And yeah. So I was like, I'm making this work. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to make it, and it's going to work. But yeah, back to me starting this in May. It is now July, and I truly abandoned it so many times. I did. Not this part. So I'm finishing all this up in a couple days. The gluing of the pages and the marker on the pages. It's the outlining that got me questioning my life a bit. And I've also just been in a weird creative mood. I am in the summer usually, and I just abandon my business and my art a bit. As everyone should at times, you know? But, hey, look at that shot. Ooh, color pencil. There's my favorite brown Prismacolor color pencil. And, oh, that's okay. I must have gotten out of the shower, because that's what happens to my eyes when I don't take off my makeup. And I usually don't, because I'm lazy. And then you can see me here outlining with a darker green. So I was like, what if I just call Taylor up? Sorry. I was going to say something else, but then the way I said that, it reminded me of that who was it, Kris Jenner, that said that? But it's a TikTok sound. What if you just call Taylor up? Anyways, I was like, what if I just do everything in marker? But that's not the vibe. I wanted more texture. I just love the combo of the marker with the color pencil as the outlining on the paper. And also, can we appreciate how flat everything dried? Round of applause, round of applause. We got lucky because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hoping for the best. Always said that. I also considered drawing all the pages and then gluing them up on there, but that was only considered for half a second, because obviously the Mod Podge would ruin everything. And you gotta really Mod Podge it up. So simply wouldn't work. Because basically the vibe is I'm drawing on them as if it's like the layout that I do on the individual ones, and I didn't continue them on. You know, each page is still their own. They're just all up there, glued together. I went to go check the views on the TikTok video version of this. I posted it last night. And so now that I have it open, I am going to read some comments, okay? Betsy says, they look like a really cool collection of pressed flowers in an antique book spread out on a table. I love this one. You know what? That's the type of comment I appreciate. You have a vision. You're sharing it with me. And I love that. And that's what I said. Cool. It does. I see what you're saying there. And I am envisioning it now. Someone said, I need this. Aw, people are so nice. It like blows my mind. But I like to respond. I don't scroll through comments, so I'm gonna leave. I just liked Betsy's comment. It was unique. I love a unique comment, but I also love any comment that is nice or helpful. Anyways, yeah, so right when I post a video, I respond to them, to comments as they come through, and then I leave and never return. But sometimes I do. I just glance, but I do not scroll far. Again, everybody's so nice. It's just, you reach people who don't follow you or like your stuff, and I don't want to hear about them. I don't want to hear it. And I can't. It affects me too much. That's why I choose to stay away. Also, I was noticing, I'm watching Veronica Mars in this, and then I minimized it to a smaller screen. I don't know why I did that, because it's still distracting to me looking at this. But that shows you how far away this. I feel like I was watching Veronica Mars so long ago, and just seeing me watch it here, I'm ready to rewatch it again. Okay? How many times have I rewatched that show? So many. It's just, I love it, especially, there's just certain shows that I love to watch too when I paint. Right now I'm rewatching Lost while I paint. And that's the only time I watch it. So it's kind of motivation to, you know, sit down and make something, because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to. But then if I have my show that I can only watch while I paint, my stomach just growled. Can you hear it? I really want some McDonald's. I really do. And I'm going to get some on the way home. No one can stop me. Also, May wasn't that long ago, which is in my mind, that seems like 1,000 years ago. Yeah, also summer has seemed like it's flown by, so love how time works like that. I am outlining some more. Also, this is a different day. There's Opie. He heard someone upstairs come home probably, and he said, what's that? Okay, bye. He just like comes into the paint room sometimes and leaps into my lap. He leaps, when I mean that literally, like you're not paying attention and he's just flying through the air into your arms and you're like, whoa. Anyways, I know a bunch of these shots also are not good. I was just, trying to survive. Just kidding. But sometimes I'm like, I want to make a YouTube video out of this. I just don't have the energy to try very hard. So I get whatever the easiest place to set my camera, I set it there, whether it's the best place to put it or not. And there's truly crap all over the desk. So it is what it is. And it is what it isn't. I don't know what that means, but look at those little mushrooms. I love those guys. I just love it was actually fun too with the smoother Mod Podge paper. Again, it's not glossy, but it is a little bit just because it's glue. And it was kind of fun. It was really easy. Now this is the time jump. Okay? This is most recently also. What is my hair doing? Don't ask. There's also paint on my headphones and it looks gross. It looks like... Moving on. My stomach is really growling, y'all. My stomach is really growling. Oh, wow. I just discovered that my mic wasn't on. So that's super cool. You got some really bad audio. I can't redo it. So sorry. But moving on. So I left it forever. Just like this. Okay? I didn't know what I was going to do. Normal color pencils didn't work. But then I found these... They're in my mind, I call them oil pastel pencils. I don't know what they're called. Let me find it. I don't know. But they're just chalkier. But they're not too chalky. Because I got some that were like straight chalk. But these are like an in-between. And they are exactly what I wanted. And they draw great. But I also drew with them completely. And they are like oil pastels. And they blend like them. Kind of. But I order too many things on Amazon. I can't find them. I'm scrolling. Oh, wait. I found them. Also, look at... When I'm really focusing, I chew on my shirt. That's a great habit. Cool. They are the Stabilo brand chalk pastel pencil. Okay, that's what they call them. That's so true. That's what they are. And I love them. And it's the only thing that would work on this weird, shiny Mod Podge marker combination paper. So I was excited about that. I also used some oil pastels, just chunky oil pastels, soft oil pastels. Stop saying oil pastels. I'm also filming myself drawing. Instead of the actual drawing itself because I'm annoying. And that's what's happening. Now I'm thinking, and there's a lot to ponder here. There is. I don't know what exactly I'm pondering, but I'm pondering. It's an important thing to do with art. Sit back, look around, take a picture maybe, look at the picture, make a face, and wonder what you're doing with your life. And I truly am just, I'm going, and hoping for the best. Also, I'm watching Lost in this moment right now. I said it was my new show, and it is right now. It's not new. It's my new rewatch show. When I paint, here I am shocked because I forgot how that happened. And I already forgot her name, but she died. So, and Saeed. It was just sadder than I remembered. And what also always gets me, which has already happened, I love the beginning. Well, I usually like the middle of shows. Hey, it's a new day. And my tank top matches the painting. Super cool. I don't know what I was talking about. But also, the part that always gets me is when they're leaving on the boat. Also, spoiler alert, I guess. I probably have already mentioned this in one of my videos where I'm watching Lost, and then I talk about how I rewatch Lost because I watch it. I just like, what else is there to talk about except the same things I do over and over. Anyways, they're getting on the boat to leave. Michael and his son has the dog, and they're leaving to go try to leave, and then the dog is swimming after them, and the little boy is saying, "No, go back, go back." I forgot that egg's name. It starts with a G, I think. Anyways, it makes me cry every single time. It makes me cry. And then he starts swimming back, and then what's her head takes care of him, and she just died a second ago. So, but also when they're on the boat and then they think they're being saved, I talk about this every time too. I think they're being saved, and then he's acting all friendly, the guy that finds them, and then he's like, "The only thing is, we're gonna have to take the boy." He says it just like that. He does. And it's like, oh my gosh. I knew that was gonna happen, but also shocks me every time and freaks me out. I also love that whenever I mention Lost, there's always someone that is as enthusiastic as they should be about it, which is very much so. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, is that Lost?" When I post about it. Like I've done it a couple times where I do a picture of whatever I'm working on, and then my iPad in the background of Lost on. And then somebody told me that there is apparently there's like multiple things, but chronological Lost chronological or something. And somebody redid it to where everything, like all the flashbacks, it does all the flashbacks in order up until the plane crash, and then it keeps going, and I need to find that. And I want to watch it. But I just have to figure that out. Because some of the flashbacks, I'm like, okay, guys, I don't care in this moment, though. Can we get back to the island? What's happening? There's always something crazy happening. And I don't care about your conversation with your dad before all this happened, you know? Sometimes they're interesting, and I love a flashback moment, but sometimes I'm like, hey, stop. Hey, look, I'm thinking again. I'm thinking, and I'm saying, okay, what if I do that? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Also, my other comfort rewatch recently has been Say Yes to the Dress, which some of those I haven't seen, and I guess it's still going, so it's not really a rewatch, is it? But I like to go back to the old ones and see all the ugly dresses, the 2000s dresses. No offense, some of them are fine, but some of them I'm like, hey, what are we doing? But you know what? It's of the time. I also, for weddings, okay? You know, where they go to each other's weddings. TLC just truly reminds me of, also look at this pose. Look at me thinking with my cigarette oil pastel. Anyways, what was I talking about? Why do I do this? I interrupt myself and I don't know what I'm talking about. I got that green acid. Ew, I don't want that. Oh, for weddings. TLC, I would sit inside in the summer. I went outside, but when I was sitting inside, waiting on, I don't know, to meet with my friends or I babysat with my aunt. I babysat my cousin with my aunt a lot over the summer, and I would wait for her to be ready to come get me, and I would be watching TLC in the living room. I would also watch TLC there at her house while babysitting, and it's just really nostalgic. And so for weddings, when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah. And boy, is it fun to watch. Boy, is it fun. It's so weird that they're like judging each other's. What an interesting thing, you know? And why are we doing that? I don't know. It's just a wedding. Everybody chill. And it's none of your business. I don't care if you like my wedding. Why would I care? Why would I care? Well, it's for your family, your loved ones as well. But I don't want to have a big wedding. I really don't. I don't want to have a wedding at all. Let's elope, and then maybe we'll have a party. Maybe we'll have a get-together, a dinner. like those Pinterest ones I see where they have big long tables and flowers all over the table. That sounds cool. But everybody looking at me and that whole deal? No. Why would I want to do that? The planning of it? Ew. Sounds terrible. Not that I'm going to be having one anytime soon. Who knows, man? No, I know. I won't. The whole point of TLC is to have fun judging people, I guess. Because that's what's fun about Say Yes to the Dress and that 4 Weddings. They're judging each other's weddings. But also, you're sitting behind the screen and saying, yeah, why did she have her wedding at the zoo? That was weird. I mean, you do you, I guess. But I've also been rewatching Dance Moms, which, not that I watched that all the way through. I've just, like, the first season I've seen somewhat. And truly, what a fascinating thing to watch. Reality TV does just cringe me out too much most of the time because I know it's all fake. I know what you're doing, people. And I can tell. You set up that fight. I know you did. And you're prompting them to say all these things. And so they do. And that's you can't fool me. Am I still entertained? Yeah, I am. Those poor children. Look at me working away. We're going to move on from that. Also, Dance Moms has been my journaling show that I watch while I'm journaling and also at night while I eat my late night snack. And no other time. Only that time. And I watch 4 Weddings when I eat lunch. And I watch... It's a sickness. I see people make jokes about how they can't do anything without watching something. Like, I'm always watching YouTube. I am watching something while I'm doing anything, especially eating. I cannot eat in silence. I can't do it. I used to at some point, but look at us now, you know? It's okay, though. It is what it is. And that's okay. And then, but also, I play Say Yes to the Dress at night sometimes as I'm falling asleep, and then also just in the background while I'm doing other things around the house, and I need some kind of noise or I will be scared. So that's usually my go-to. So glad you asked. Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it does. It does. Look at my cute phone case. Oh, you can't see it anymore. Someone tagged me, or someone messaged me today and said, your phone case is in Colleen Hoover's story. Or she just said she posted it, or something. And I was like, what? Where'd you see that? And it was in her story, in case if I had, like, gifted her, I guess. I don't know if she bought them. In my mind, they were gifted. It was like, and my bookshelf one was in there. So, yeah. In the title on Casetify, I put by ktscanvases so that people know that it's me. Because I also get a bunch of people, but like otherwise people don't know it's me, which is fine. But it makes me sad a little bit. I'm like, I wish my name was on that. But also, what is a name? You know, doesn't matter. I'm just glad people have my art. But I also don't want, not if it's being resold without my knowledge. But people often message me or email me and they're like, oh my gosh, Casetify is selling your stuff. And I'm like, no, that's me. But thank you so much for looking out for me because there are a bunch of places that sell my designs. I don't know where they get them. I guess they screen grab them from other products and they use them, and that happens every day. We recently found a bunch on Amazon and Temu. Freaking Temu. Why is everybody talking about Temu? Makes me angry. It's just the new Shein, isn't it? Like, what is it? Why? That's what I want to know. Why? Okay, sorry. It angers me. It's just not necessary. What is it? It also angers me because a bunch of websites like that just rip off artists. And that's what they do. But we also find them on Etsy a lot too. So, whatever. I am moving on from that conversation. But no, I'm not. I'm going back to it. So my mom answers my emails. I pay her. And thank the dear Lord, because I would not be able to function. Early on, I was like, can I please pay you to answer emails? I'll make set responses, and you can ask me what to say and whatever, but I can't do it. I can't. Just mentally. Because I'm someone who can't even respond to texts because I get anxious about it just because I have a text. You know? So can you imagine so many emails, and it's like all important stuff? I think it got worse as I had a following and got a bunch of DMs too, because I also just have to ignore that. I'm so sorry. I cannot look at it. I look at it sometimes, but I can't. I just can't. That's why if it's something important, you email, and then I have someone there to answer. And it's a whole thing. I don't know what. Oh, look, I got really angry because I got paint on my tank top. That hasn't happened in a while. But usually I wear a t-shirt where it doesn't matter, but I didn't today. So mad. So mad. What was I talking about? I'll figure it out as I wonder aloud. And I'm not gonna figure it out. I have to go back and listen. I know what it is now. She will sometimes show me. Usually people email that, hey, I found your design on someone else's website, and she will contact whoever's selling it and be like, take this down. But sometimes she shows me, and I cannot. I cannot. I don't even want to see it. That's why I'm thankful that she does the emails, because if I had to see that every day, it affects me so much, and I can't help it. Like, it's this weird feeling, mix of anxiety and anger and just so upset. Anyways. And she showed me recently one from Temu. And it's also like, because it's also like, okay, what am I doing? How are they getting these? And then I'm stressed. I'm like, okay, I need to go through everything I have, everywhere I'm selling everything. Is there anything without a watermark? Because I try to put watermarks on stuff so people can't take images, but people can take watermarks off stuff because they suck. They suck! I ran out of breath. I wasn't crying. But I will cry about it. I will. Moving on. Okay, so this is the part I was waiting for. So this is the very end. I was talking about something else, but I ended up painting the edges of the canvas, but I outlined the paper in marker and then painted it just so it was precise. I'm reading this audiobook, and it truly cannot stop smiling throughout the whole thing. It is so sweet. I just wasn't expecting it. I don't know, I wasn't expecting it. I randomly found it. I was looking for audiobooks. I was looking for summer vibes, okay? And in my mind, I got it for my beach trip. I was like, I'll listen to it on the way there, or I'll listen to it while I walk on the beach. I never did. But I started listening to it in the pool the other day. And oh my gosh. My dad always makes fun of me because I smile when I'm reading. And he's like, that is really creepy. Why are you smiling so much? And I'm like, I can't help it. I'm watching a movie in my head, okay? Why would I not smile or laugh or yell aloud in anger and sadness? But like, I see what he means, because I just randomly smile constantly. I'm seeing it right now. It's a little weird. I also, sometimes I'm having a conversation with someone, and it happens with my mom a lot because I talk to her the most. She's telling me something, but I suddenly think of something from my book, or it's like right after I stopped finishing reading, and then she says something. Also, look at my hand. I had to be careful not to smear the pencil everywhere because it's all over my hand. And so I set my book down, or I finish reading. She says something to me. I'm still thinking about the book, or I randomly think about something from the book. I start smiling or laughing. She's like, what are you smiling about? We're like, what are you laughing at? And then I have to explain to her that I'm thinking about something a fictional world in my head. That's embarrassing. That's happened multiple times. I'm like, sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the inside of my head. So, okay. I also did pencil around the edges of the paper to kind of make them older looking. And I was also trying to bring in the brown. So I did the brown outline. You can't see it because I'm annoying and I didn't show you. But it was looking weird. And I was like, I need some of the dark brown in the pages. So I tried to kind of outline them, but I didn't want to really outline all the pages. So then I added all these little dark brown vines. And I liked that. But then I was like, no, I got to add a few more pieces of paper at the bottom because it was uneven. I was okay with it showing the canvas underneath or like the border, but it was uneven, so it was bothering me. Here I am giggling, kicking my feet, and crying over that book. I actually really liked the audiobook of this. I don't always love books as audiobooks, but I liked this one. And it reminded me, it was just fun, summer, sweet, romancy, family, sad, but good, a little bit sad, but also just like heartwarming. And it reminded me of this other book I read called You Wouldn't Dare. And same vibes. It's by Samantha Markham. And I just liked it a lot. I did. But I was just, the whole time I was reading this one. I mean, listening to this. I was just having a fun time. Truly smiling the whole time. I also didn't really read the description fully, or I didn't remember it. And so I was trying to make it a thriller in my mind. I thought it was kind of a mystery. And I don't know, there were moments where I was like, this could go scary thriller vibes, but then it didn't. Because as I read, I like to predict in my little notes and be like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen. And then it doesn't. I'm like, okay, no, this is not a scary book. I was just being stupid. Moving on. Here we go. Look at it. I love her. I'm so glad I added the pages to the bottom because all that was kind of blank, and which I was fine with, but it didn't match the top. And I love all the vines in that dark brown to match the dark brown. And then look, there's close up. I love her so much. I made a print of it. I'll sell the original maybe at some point. And there's a phone wallpaper on my website. I love how it turned out, and I'm so excited. I finally finished it. I feel good now that I finished it. I'm like, okay, I finished it. It's a good feeling. It is. And the vibes are incredible. Look at them. Look at the vibes. Would you look at the vibes? I just love it so much. I love the colors and the mushrooms and everything. Okay, love you. Bye.